Many thanks for joining us on Television News. I am Rosemary Kokotega. The headlines. President Tinubu returns to Abuja after UK's visit. FCT Minister inspects key FCT projects, praises speed, quality of work. Health workers protest against proposed health sector regulatory bill. INEC meets political party leaders to unveil 2027 election guidelines. In sports, Nigeria climbs rankings as FIBA schedules NBBF elections for October 15. President Bola Tinubu has returned to Abuja after stopping by in Lagos to mark the Eid al-Fitr on his way from historic state visit to the United Kingdom. Presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga disclosed this in a statement saying President Tinubu's plane left the presidential wing of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport at 6:44 p.m. on Wednesday. He said the Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun and former Governor of Ogun State Aremo Olusegun Osoba were at the president's residence for the departure ceremony. Others at the airport for the departure were the Governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the Deputy Governor Obafemi Hamzat, senior government officials and party stalwarts. Some senior government officials, including Chief of Staff Femi Gbadabiamila and FCT Minister Chief Nyesom Wike, among others, were on ground at the presidential villa of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, to receive the president at about 7:50 p.m. As part of his Lagos schedule, President Tinubu received 23 governors and an EU delegation and members of the Lagos State Governance Advisory Council. The presidential statement added that the Vice President Kashim Shettima also came to Lagos to brief President Tinubu on his trip to Borno State following the recent suicide bombing. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Nyesom Wike, has continued his inspection of ongoing infrastructure projects across Abuja, expressing satisfaction with the quality and pace of several key developments. The minister said while speaking to journalists that the routine inspections are aimed at ensuring constructors deliver according to agreed standards. He commended progress at the Fire Service Bridge project, noting that work is nearing completion and expected to be delivered within 5 months, while also confirming that the N5 road executed by Julius Berger is fully completed and slated for inauguration during the 3rd anniversary of President Bola Tinubu.
It's very important to note that this is the first time that the government has tried to provide basic infrastructure for the Nigerian Law School. You remember too, I've awarded the building of auditorium for them. Very soon the contractor will move to the site. So I'm sure that the Nigerian Law School will be happy that accommodation has been provided for the students. That also means that they may increase the number of enrollment, because accommodation has been a major issue. And so when we were told, we felt that we were going to make our own contribution.
At the Nigerian Law School, the minister expressed satisfaction with the completion of 10 staff bungalows and progress on student accommodation projects. While he praised the contractor handling the female hostel for meeting expectations, he voiced concern over the slower pace of work on the male hostel despite both projects being awarded simultaneously. Minister Wike described the intervention as a landmark effort to provide basic infrastructure at the institution, adding that improved accommodation could boost students' enrollment. He also disclosed that construction of a new auditorium will commence soon, further enhancing facilities at the law school.
It's not a question of the amount of money, it has to do with commitment. You may have all the money in the world, and if you're not committed, it falls down to the same thing. But again, what's important is being able to, utilize the funds in a very prudential way. If you see what we have been doing through our IGL, we make sure that is being committed to projects, and we expect to make sure that those projects are going on. Projects that we don't have the money to fund, like Pablo said, we are not going to award such a contract. Like I said, when you're in an administration where the head, the boss, is giving you support, obviously you have no reason for failure, excuses. So I think our commitment of the momentum is because we have a president who believes that yes, that need to provide the basic infrastructure for students, and of course lead to the quality of education.
Addressing questions on funding and the pace of development, Barrister Wike attributed the administration's momentum to prudent use of internally generated revenue and strong political will. He emphasized that contracts are only awarded when funding is secured, while also crediting the support of President Bola Tinubu for enabling delivery of key infrastructure. On political developments within the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, the minister dismissed suggestions of factional divisions, maintaining that the party remains united despite ongoing reconciliation efforts ahead of its convention. Health workers under the joint health sector unions and the Assembly of Health Worker Professional Associations have protested at the Unity Fountain in Abuja against the proposed health sector regulatory bill. They said the bill, if allowed to pass, would subject every medical profession to regulation of the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria. The health sector regulatory bill, also referred to as part of the Health Sector Executive Bills 2026, is a legislative proposal currently before Nigeria's National Assembly that has sparked nationwide protests by healthcare workers. Though still before the National Assembly, the demonstrators say the bill would compel the profession to the supervision of Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria. As the world observes World Water Day 2026, the FCT administration, in collaboration with Rotary District 9127 and other development partners, are emphasizing the critical link between water access and gender equality. The acting director, FCT Rural Water Supply and Sanitation Directorate, RUWASA, Abigail Ekmenisi, disclosed this at a borehole commissioning event held at Kunjami Community, Gosa, in the FCT to commemorate the day. Harris C.D. Siraju reports.
World Water Day 2026 with the theme Water and Gender, where water flows, equality grows, highlights the disproportionate burden of water scarcity in women and girls. Speaking at the event, the acting director of FCT RUWASA, Abigail Ekmenisi, stressed that inclusive access to clean water and sanitation is vital for improving health, dignity, and economic opportunities for women and girls.
Gender is to carry the women, the girl child, and women, because they are the end user of water. They are the ones that are exposed to so many hazards that due to fetching water in the night, going a long distance to get water, to cover the needs of the family. So they are exposed to danger. They are not there at the decision making. That's why the words think that they should be heard, they should be included in the decision making, so that they can speak for themselves, so that they will carry it along.
The district governor of Rotary International 9127, Dame Princess Joy Okoro, commended FCT RUWASA for helping the community get access to clean water.
The importance of water. Water is life. Without water, we cannot exist. Not just drinking, but doing all the domestic things. We need water. That is why the United Nations has set it out every 22nd March all over the world. It's been recognized as World Water Day. And for this community, we pay total number over 5,000 inhabitants. They go to streets to fetch water. And giving them this borehole will make a lot of difference. It will give them good access to water, drinking water. I have seen the water is quite clean. And this organization, FCT RUWASA, that has come up with this idea is quite welcome.
The event featured presentations underscoring the importance of water and sanitation, distribution of water sanitation kits, and also the commissioning of a borehole and water pump by the FCT RUWASA. World Water Day is an annual UN observance. World Water Day is an annual UN observance on March 22nd, highlighting the importance of fresh water and advocating for sustainable management of water resources. For ASO TV News, I am Haris Sidisiraju.
The Federal Capital Territory Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board, FCT-MPWB, has announced the third phase of its education and orientation exercise for intending pilgrims for the 2026 Hajj. The program is scheduled to hold on Saturday, March 28 and Sunday, March 29, 2026 for all registered pilgrims under the board. According to the board, the two-day exercise will commence at 8 a.m. daily at its permanent Hajj transit camp in Basan Jiwa, located near the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. Intending pilgrims are urged to attend as the sessions will provide critical guidance on the Hajj exercise. Director of the board, Kadiri Eda, described the program as crucial, noting it's designed to equip pilgrims with the knowledge required to perform an acceptable Hajj in accordance with Islamic principles. He explained that the orientation would cover key areas as new Hajj policies, guidelines from Saudi authorities, and regulations governing immigration, customs, and drug control, as well as the risks associated with trafficking. Issues of personal hygiene and safety during the pilgrimage will also be addressed. The board reaffirmed its commitment to ensuring improved welfare services for pilgrims, including better accommodation and timely airlift arrangements. It added that the exercise builds on earlier preparations such as previous orientation sessions, medical screenings, and accommodation process documentation processes in line with directives from the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria and Saudi Arabian Hajj policies for 2026. The legislative arm of Abaji Area Council, under the leadership of the Speaker Haruna Musa Farouk Matasa, has reshuffled its House leadership following allegation of anti-party activities by 3 elected councillors during the just concluded FCT Area Council election. The House explained that the action became necessary as the affected councillors were elected under the platform of the All Progressives Congress APC, but were involved in activities contrary to the party's interest during the election, though they did not officially resign from the party. The council noted that APC now holds the majority in the Legislative Council with 6 out of the 10 seats, a development that necessitated the restructuring of the House leadership. During the sitting, members of the Legislative Council unanimously adopted Haruna Yahaya, a former minority leader, as the Deputy Speaker of the House. His nomination was seconded by Chief Whip, the councillor representing Central Ward. Similarly, the councillor representing Godi Ward was nominated as and adopted as the majority leader, with the motion seconded by the minority leader who represents Gawi Ward. In another development, the seats of the councillors representing Northeast Ward, Rimba Ebagi Ward, and Nuku Sabungeri Ward were declared vacant by the House over their alleged involvement in anti-party activities. Speaking on behalf of the Legislative Council, the Speaker, Mr. Haruna Matasa, congratulated the elected Chairman of Abaji Area Council, Alhaji Abubakar Umar Abdullahi, on his victory at the polls and commended him for his continued support and cooperation with the legislative arm since the inception of the administration. The chairman of Abaji Area Council and leader of the All Progressives Congress APC, Alhaji Abubakar Umar Abdullahi, joined other prominent party leaders and governors at the APC North Central Zonal Congress held at the late Aliyu Akwe Doma Banquet Hall, Government House, Lafia, Nasarawa State. The Congress brought together delegates and stakeholders from across the North Central Zone, including Benue, Kogi, Kwara, Nasarawa, Niger, and Plateau states, as well as the Federal Capital Territory, the FCT. Alhaji Abdullahi attended the Congress with his delegation from Abaji Area Council, where delegates unanimously adopted President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the sole candidate of the party for the 2027 presidential election. Speaking at the event, the governor of Nasarawa State, Abdullahi Sule, who also serves as the chairman, North Central Governors Forum, seconded the motion supporting President Tinubu's endorsement. The Congress also produced new zonal executives for the party through a consensus process, which was affirmed by voice vote and acclamation in line with the approach earlier adopted during the World Local Government and State Congresses. While in Lafia, the Abaji chairman received several APC leaders and serving governors, including the governor of Niger State, Umar Mohamed Bago, the governor of Kogi State, Ahmed Usman Udodo, as well as Abdullahi Idris Garba Meisola, among other party stakeholders at Lafia Airport. The Media and Publicity Committee of the 2026 National Convention of the ruling All Progressives Congress, the APC, has announced that the party would hold a World Press Conference today in preparations for the upcoming convention. Co-chairman of the committee and Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, disclosed this during the committee's meeting. He called on members of the committee to work together in unity to ensure effective communication and successful delivery of the convention. The minister reminded members that while the APC remains Africa's largest political party, it must continue to uphold strong internal democratic values. He noted that the forthcoming convention scheduled for March 27 to 28, 2026 in Abuja represents an important milestone for the party as it continues to strengthen its internal structures and democratic process. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has convened a meeting with leaders of political parties at its headquarters in Abuja to unveil and deliberate on new electoral guidelines ahead of the 2027 general elections. In attendance were chairmen and secretaries of political parties as well as their representatives, among whom was Senator Memadi Usman representing the Labour Party and Abdul Rahman Mohammed and Samuel Anyang representing the People's Democratic Party, PDP. The meeting focused on presenting and discussing newly drafted electoral guidelines designed to govern the conduct of the 2027 polls. The development follows enactment of the Electoral Act 2026, which necessitated a review of existing procedures. According to the INEC chairman, the updated guidelines are aligned with the provisions of the new electoral law. He noted that political parties and other stakeholders can no longer operate within the evolving electoral framework using outdated regulations. The INEC chairman said in addition to the guidelines review, the commission already outlined several preparatory measures, including the continuous voter registration CVR exercise scheduled to begin with online pre-registration on 18th August 2025 to be followed by in-person registration from 25th August 2025, allowing eligible Nigerians to register or update their voter information. The Commission also announced plans for a nationwide voter register revalidation exercise aimed at removing duplicate entries and deceased persons to enhance the credibility of the electoral roll. Watch ASO Television on GSTV 392, StarTimes TV 127, Free TV 507 on the UHL band on channel 38. Coming up in the bulletin after the break, NEMA receives 100 Nigerian returnees from Algeria, plus other stories. Do stay with us.
Some things don't arrive. They've always been. Not for a day, for all of time. Until quietly something shifts, moving from someday to now. Women are not honored in time. They are woven through it, shaping every story, every voice, every breath. We are because she is, and because tomorrow they will be.
The National Youth Service Corps (NYSC) has dismissed as false and misleading a publication alleging that corps members are exposed to danger and subjected to a so-called ransom clause, describing the report as unfounded and alarmist. The scheme, in a statement made available to journalists in Abuja, clarified there is no provision for any ransom clause in the NYSC Act or its bylaws and urged the public to disregard the claim entirely. NYSC also expressed sympathy over the unfortunate incident involving Musa Usman Abba, explaining that he is not a serving corps member, having completed his National Youth Service Corps in 2023, and that making attempts to link the incident to the scheme is inaccurate. The management reiterated that the welfare and safety of corps members remain a top priority, noting that all corps members are covered by life insurance under a long-standing agreement with Capital Express Assurance Limited. According to the scheme, it has spent over 500 million naira on urgent medical interventions for corps members in the last 5 years and continues to work closely with security agencies to ensure safe orientation and deployment. NYSC therefore urged media practitioners and the public to verify information before publication, warning that the spread of fake news undermines national institutions and erodes public trust. The federal government says it is doubling up domestic financing and developing advanced prevention tools to eliminate tuberculosis and HIV as public health threats by 2030. Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, in a speech at a ministerial press briefing and the launch of Lenacapavir in Abuja to mark the 2026 World TB Day, outlined a broad reform agenda and warned of declining global health funding. Elizabeth Kasham has the report.
The Minister of Health, Professor Ali Pate, revealed that federal government will inject an additional $346 million into HIV, TB and malaria programs in 2026 as part of a co-financing strategy to focus on innovation, efficiency and national ownership.
In the context of this major bilateral funder, I'm just pleased to say that the co-financing for 2026 in relation to this large program, which supports HIV, TB, malaria, and other strategic investments, is almost $346 million additional. And His Excellency President has already directed the Budget Office of the Federation to ensure that it's captured in 2026 budget. That means that some of the commodity costs, the laboratory surveillance costs, the reagents, primary health care, expansion of financial protection should be included, and that budget is on the way. We hope that it will be concluded in a way that ensures that it is there as directed by the President.
The minister highlighted the launch of Lenacapavir, a long-acting injectable for HIV prevention, as a critical additional to Nigeria's collection. The twice-yearly injection offers a more convenient alternative to daily oral drugs, particularly for individuals facing stigma or difficulty adhering to routine medication. Also speaking, the Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Isaac Salako, said the Nigeria's TB response has recorded significant gains, with case notification rising from 138,591 in 2020 to 440,000 in 2025, the highest on record.
This achievement is the result of strategically expanding our diagnostic networks, especially our Gene Expert network, which increased from 32 machines in 2012 to 527 today. YTB True NAT capacity also grew from 39 units in 2013 to 372 as at today. Treatment success also remained high at 94%, reflecting the dedication of our health workforce and the efficacy of TB medicines.
The government also launched the MAP TB application, a digital accountability platform aimed at tracking commitment and enabling real-time coordination among stakeholders. Elizabeth Kasham, ASO Television News.
The Lagos Operations Office of the National Emergency Management Agency (NEMA), in partnership with the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons, has successfully received a total of 100 Nigerian returnees from Algeria on March 25, 2026. This, according to a report, is part of ongoing assisted voluntary return program facilitated by the International Organization for Migration in collaboration with the federal government of Nigeria. The returnees arrived at the cargo terminal Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, on board an Air Algeria flight. A breakdown of the returnees indicates that there were 96 adults, that is 77 males and 19 females, 4 infants, 2 males and 2 females. Upon arrival, officials from the Nigeria Immigration Service carried out biometric registration and documentation to ensure accurate records and facilitate smooth reintegration into the country. In line with the federal government's commitment to ensuring the safe, dignified and humane return of its citizens, the returnees were immediately provided with humanitarian assistance, including food and potable water, medical care and ambulance services for those with health concerns, luggage handling and logistics support, general coordination and counseling services to ensure a seamless and organized reception process. The federal government has commended the outgoing ambassador of Mexico to Nigeria, Alfredo Miranda Ortiz, for his contributions to strengthening bilateral relations between both countries. Minister of Foreign Affairs Ambassador Yusuf Maitama Tugar, via a statement by the ministry's spokesperson Kimiebi Ebienfa, conveyed the commendation through the permanent secretary, Ambassador Dunoma Ahmed, during the farewell meeting with the envoy at the ministry's headquarters in Abuja. Ambassador Miranda expressed appreciation to the Nigerian government for the support he received throughout his 4-year tenure, noting that relations between Nigeria and Mexico recorded significant progress through enhanced diplomatic engagements and structured bilateral dialogue. He highlighted key achievements, including the establishment of Nigeria-Mexico Chamber of Commerce and the appointment of an honorary consul in Lagos, as well as improved agricultural trade, particularly the export of hibiscus under the CNC-CARMAX collaboration. Permanent Secretary Ambassador Ahmed noted that 2026 marks the 50th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Nigeria and Mexico, describing it as a milestone that reflects the steady growth of ties between both nations. The meeting ended with both countries reaffirming their commitment to deepening bilateral cooperation. Huskpower has won the 2026 Fellas Technovator Award for pioneering technology-driven renewable energy solutions that expanded access to clean power in underserved communities. The company's AI-enabled distributed energy resources platform not only delivers reliable energy around the clock but drives social and economic impact, enabling local livelihoods, boosting small businesses, and contributing to climate-positive development across Africa and Asia. Organized by Eniside Markets Media, the Future Energy Leaders Awards Fellas 2026 in India's premier platform celebrating energy innovation and sustainability leaders. The awards span green hydrogen, renewable energy, natural gas power utilities, climate action, bioenergy, sustainable infrastructure, and battery storage e-mobility. This recognition further positions Huskpower as a global leader in renewable energy innovation, highlighting its commitment to operational excellence, adherence to international standards, and scalable solutions for the 600 million people lacking reliable electricity in Africa. Country Director, Nigeria, and VP Business Development, West Africa, Olu Aruike, said they appreciate the organizers' recognition of the company efforts in advancing energy access, boosting local incomes, and shaping a greener future in the global south. The 2026 edition held on March 23, 2026 at Le Méridien, New Delhi, featured an elegant evening of recognition, awards presentation and networking for industry leaders driving India's net zero transition. The International Basketball Federation has set October 25, 2026 as the date for the next elective Congress of the Nigeria Basketball Federation (NBBF), a move that comes amid Nigeria's steady rise in global basketball rankings. Many thanks for watching the news this hour. My name is Rosemary Kokotega. Join us at 7 p.m. for more news.